All right, good afternoon, everyone. Greetings and welcome to the August 24th, 2020 meeting of the Rotary Club of Raleigh. So glad to see you all here today to welcome our district governor, David Hayden, and let him share with us the bigger picture of what is going on in our district. As we were just saying before the meeting started, some of us have seen quite a bit of Mr. Hayden here lately. He joined us very kindly for our fundraiser on Thursday, and I think a good time was had by all at that. We'll hear a little bit more about that later. And he also joined us on Wednesday, or we joined him at the planning meeting for the April 17 Day of Service that was led by Gina, and we'll hear more from her about that later. David, thank you so much for your support and for joining us here today, and we look forward to hearing from you. But for right now, we're going to turn the program over to Richard Watkins for the invocation and the pledge.
Thank you all very much. I would like to start this invocation off with 175,651. In that number are mothers. In that number are sisters. In that number are grandmothers and daughters, brothers, fathers, sons, loved ones who are no longer with us today. 175,651 are the number, as of today, of Americans who have lost their lives. Americans who will never see another day, Americans who will not be around for a wedding, Americans who will not be around for a graduation, Americans who are now only with us in memory. Today, the United States of America, who only has 4% of the global population, bears the brunt with over 25% of the deaths globally. And in remembrance of those souls, of those lives, of those fellow Americans who are no longer with us, please join me now in a moment of silence. Join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you very much, and God bless each and every one of you. Linda?
I just wanted to welcome any guests today. If there is anyone here who is a guest, please announce yourself. I didn't get any notification ahead of time. Do we have any guests today? Please unmute yourself if you do, if you are. I'm not seeing anyone. Okay, go ahead, please, Eric.
All right. Thank you, Richard, for that powerful invocation and for that reminder of what we're going through right now. This is a difficult time in our country, and we are doing our best here in our little corner of it to spread a little love and kindness and compassion and to help make our little community a little better. And so in that vein, let me ask you that if you feel called and you happen to have a buck or two that you can share, please make a donation to the Cart Bucket. And you can do that by putting it in the chat or else sending an email to Linda. Let me also give you a reminder that if you're going to be making any purchases through Amazon, use the Amazon Smile feature that allows a portion of the sale to go towards the Rotary Club. Now, let me just let you know about our upcoming meetings before we have some announcements. Next week, we're not going to have a formal meeting, but we are going to have the Zoom open. We will send a link. And the idea is it's just going to be a social time. So no agenda, no need to be here if you have something better to do. But if you'd like to come together here and hang out and just spend a little social time chatting with your friends while you're enjoying your lunch, please join us. The following week, we're having our Labor Day holiday. And then we have some great programs coming up for you in September. We'll have David Meeker from Trophy Brewing. He's the son of former Mayor Charles Meeker. And then we're going to have the president of the RDU Airport Authority. That should be a really fascinating program. And then we'll round out September with a visit from our mayor, Mary Ann Baldwin. So a lot to look forward to, and so glad that we have all of you to share it with. Let me now turn the program over to Charles Edwards.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome. Just a follow-up. As you know, we successfully sold all of the masks. On Friday, President Eric and I will go and present a check to Overflowing Hands in the amount of $800. Get a little photo op, and of course, as we all know, that will be going to a great cause to provide much needed meals for the students in Wake County that right now have limited access to the system because many of the schools are partially closed. That's it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Charles. Christy, do you have an update?
Not too much today. Just a reminder to send me any membership prospects, anybody that may be thinking about joining Rotary or maybe interested in even just attending one of our Zoom meetings, and I can touch base with them afterwards if they're interested. Other than that, mark your calendar for September 24th, just for our September virtual social. They've been really fun the last few months, so we'd love to have more people in attendance. And that's it today.
Thanks so much, Christy. Gina, tell us about what's going on with service.
Hey guys, I think we skipped over Alex, so unless Alex is going after me.
Alex is not here. I'll give a little report on the fundraiser on her behalf, unless you would like to do it after you.
All right, well, hello everyone, happy Monday. What a great Rotary week that we had last week. One, we had a fantastic speaker and a wonderful virtual meeting on Monday. On Wednesday, there was a day of service planning meeting, which I'll do a recap. And then on Thursday, we had a fantastic wine tasting and chocolate pairing. So we accomplished a lot last week on behalf of the club. I don't know if you're tired, but I'm tired, that's for sure. But it was fantastic. So in terms of service, last Wednesday, David Hayden sent out an email to all of the chapter presidents as well as the area district leaders, and we met, and there was about 20 of us, and to kind of go over what the vision of the day of service will look like. And of course, it is flowing right now. It's kind of evolving into what it's going to be because it's the first one. And I'll be setting up more planning meetings in the very near future once I just kind of get past still enjoying that wine from Thursday night. But if Valerie goes to the next slide, or Linda, what I am looking for in terms of day of service is help with potential subcommittees. So I do have a list of committees that I'm trying to put together, I guess. One is around volunteer and registration. The other one's around marketing. One is helping me with partners. One is with logistics. Another one with decoration. Another one with sponsorship and food. And of course, the fundraiser event. So, which I think that's gonna probably be Alex because she's in charge of fundraising. But these are things that I will be reaching out to the club, asking, begging, pleading for help with for the day of service. You guys hopefully have saved the dates next year, April 17th. So we had a great meeting on Wednesday with different clubs. We're really excited about what this is going to shape up to be next year, and I will have more information on that once I know. Thanks for all of those who have reached out to me about wanting to participate and or join. I will reply to you all. I'm also, it was just a busy week for me, so I am planning on creating a recap email about our meeting on Wednesday and making sure that I send that out to the club and all of those that did participate on Wednesday night's planning meeting. In terms of our event for fundraising, I can talk a little bit about that. What a great time. So on Thursday night, we hosted a virtual fundraiser. For those who attended, thank you from the bottom of our heart. Alex did a fantastic job. I don't know how you make a fundraising event on Zoom sophisticated, but she did it. She really, really did it. There was tons of attention to detail, and we are so grateful to have her leading that committee and looking forward to the next one too. So that might be an October-ish, Oktoberfest theme, so, but that'll be worked out. We also need to thank from the bottom of our hearts, Frank and Patrick from the City Club of Raleigh. So them, their efforts, their just the City Club in general, putting together the boxes for us, helping us with the logistics. Frank, from the bottom of my heart, you have an amazing team, and Patrick, the sommelier, was fantastic. I learned so much, took so many notes, and my favorite wine is also the light that fires all of Cleopatra's lovers. So if you weren't there, that's not going to be as funny to you as it may be to the other people on the line. But we did raise a lot of money. I do not know that an exact amount, so maybe Eric can help me with with that. But in terms of attendance, we had 39 people that bought boxes of wine for the day of. You know, our goal was around 30 to 40. So hitting that 39 mark just meant a lot to us, especially because we didn't know what to expect. We did raise, I know we raised over $2,100, but maybe Eric can give us more information about that. I think that's it in terms of my recap for Thursday night social, which I'm still reeling about, so.
All right. Thank you so much, Gina. And, you know, Gina gets a lot of the credit for how wonderfully that went off as well. So I second your thanks to Alex and to Patrick and Fred from the City Club. It was a beautifully planned event, and you really wouldn't think that people could have so much fun kind of sitting separately in their own little rooms, but you know, that was about as well done as it could be, and you know, I think universally everybody had a really good time. So thanks to you all for that. You know, one testament, if you need any kind of a testament to how well things went Thursday night, there was one point at which our district governor, David Hayden, did not realize that he was not on mute. And he and his wife were just kind of chatting along, having the best chat going along. And I was getting my notebook out, you know, thinking like, is there some kind of compromise that I can get here, you know, to kind of, you know, to bribe him later about. But unfortunately, like even when he had a hot mic and didn't know it, all he had was very nice things to say. So I think that tells you all you need to know about the fundraiser, is that even when people didn't know that they're being listened in on, they had nice things to say. So with that, and as far as the fundraising totals, you know, I did hear from Alex today that they're still working on calculating that, so she will give an update on the fundraising total at a future meeting. And now I want to check and see if Mark has anything to say about an update on the Southeast Raleigh Club.
Sure. Hey, Eric and team. So Southeast Raleigh, again, doing a great job. If you don't realize it, you know, when they were chartered, I think their first meeting ended up being one of these Zoom meetings. They had some in-person meetings before, but you know, they started out their club in Zoom. And even with that, they've done a fantastic job. So hat off to them for keeping things active, meeting weekly, and doing a great job. They have a new member to induct sometime either this week or the next couple of weeks. So they continue to grow. Last week's speaker was someone talking about real estate, and went from, you know, giving tips for folks getting their first house to us more mature folks and people looking at reverse mortgages and so forth. So it was good conversation. But yeah, they continue to do well. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Mark. You know, everything is going very well with the Southeast Raleigh Club. I was very grateful that several of their members attended our fundraiser. So thanks to, I know Van and Mia were there, and I think maybe a couple of others. So that was very kind of them, and hopefully we'll get to return the favor for them at some point. And speaking of the Southeast Raleigh Club, one final set of announcements, and then I'm going to turn over the program to Deborah DeCamelis to introduce our speaker. But we did last week also get an announcement that we have received 2 grant awards from the district. One of them for $2,000 for support for Wake Smiles, and the second one for $2,000 for us to partner with the Southeast Raleigh Club and the City of Raleigh to make some improvements to a park located in Oakwood, to the playground. This is called the Lane Street Park, and it's being renamed for North Carolina Central basketball coach Lavelle Moten. So we'll be in touch with you later about that, but we're looking forward to that opportunity as well. I want to say a wish a happy birthday to John Brothers, Kathy Stewart, and Reagan Weaver, and a happy anniversary to Lawrence and Sandra Davis. 58 years of marriage, that's a wonderful thing. So congratulations to you guys, and wish you many more. All right, at this point, let me turn the program over to Deborah DeCamelis to introduce our district governor.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be with you all today. About 7 years ago, I went to a meeting where I knew nobody, but David Hayden was in charge. He introduced himself, and within minutes, the topic of Rotary came up. And I mentioned I'd been meaning to visit Rotary for years, and the next thing I knew, I was visiting David's club, the Capital City Club. And the next thing I knew, I was joining, and here I am now, and David is district governor. So you know how that works when David Hayden's in the room. So I have his bio to introduce him today. It's long, and I thought about sending a link, but here's just a sample. Perhaps you don't know, although I don't know how you could not know, that he's known as Colonel, United States Army retired, Corps of Engineers, and the Judge Advocate General Corps. What you also might not know about David is that he's a graduate of the United States Military Academy and the University of Texas Law School and North Carolina State University's MBA program and the National War College. Here's one thing you also probably don't know. Several years ago, a friend of mine who's a vet tech opened a business in therapeutic pet massage. And Melanie donated a gift certificate for our Rotary golf tournament. Well, David was the only bidder on that auction, and probably just to be nice. And now he's a happy customer, and he likes to brag about his happy dog getting massages. It's my pleasure to introduce David Hayden, our district governor.
Thank you, Deborah. I like this introduction far more than some of the others I've had to go through. Nobody likes to hear about themselves, and least of all me. I am just so honored to finally be in front of your club as your district governor. I've had so many opportunities to visit the club I call the mothership, for all of North Carolina Rotary clubs. You were the first one back in 1914 on August 1st. You just had your 96th birthday, or rather your 106th birthday earlier this month. So congratulations on that. Richard, great comments, so appropriate. Thank you for that. We just cannot think enough about those who are suffering, and not just them, but their families as well. And all the healthcare workers that are in the front lines dealing with this. We give our military credit for being in the front lines, but our healthcare workers and law enforcement and emergency services have been in the front lines for us now in this battle for 6 months, and we don't know when it's going to end. So let's keep our prayers and thoughts with them and the victims and their families. Sevelin, beautiful voice. I didn't know y'all had a professional singer, was not prepared for that. Thank you very much. I need to take her with me to the different clubs, because when they do sing, we need a voice like that. Just a great club, the Raleigh Club. I love this club. You've got so many senior leaders in government and university leaders and business stalwarts, just people from all around. You always have such great people, and you got more lawyers than you can shake a stick at, and we got judges too. So all in all, it makes for a great mix and a great club. But you have a lot of members of your clubs that continue to serve the district, not just at the club level, but at the district level. Past district governors, Racine and Bill, great friends and great mentors. And I can't say enough about Mark Hackett, because if he knows that the Southeast Raleigh Satellite Club is near and dear to my heart, and a vision I've had for years. And I just can't thank you enough for your mentorship and leadership of that club. Not only that, but he's also your Rotarian of the Year last year. So you have a great Rotarian there. Let's groom him for big positions in the future. I know he's going like, no, David, shut up. Don't say another word. I'm doing enough as it is. And you know, Gina and her help with Rotary Service Day. I go to great lengths when I do these speeches at the various clubs talking about Rotary Service Day. Y'all are living it. You're leading the way, and Gina is the key person making that happen, and I can't thank her enough for that. A lot of your other members are serving in district levels as well. Tom Packer's on the District Finance Committee. Mary Moss is on the District Diversity and Inclusion Committee. And Kirk Warner's helping me with the district conference, and it will go down in April in Wilmington. Isn't that right, Kirk? Don't get him started. Sorry about that. But what a year it's been so far. I mean, you had COVID, tropical storms, hurricanes, earthquakes, election year posturing, and other new challenges that just keep coming at us. You wonder sometimes when things are ever going to be normal again. Whatever it is, it's going to be a new normal. But the one thing I hope never changes, and that's being proud to be a Rotarian. You know, in the mid-'80s, we had over 350,000 people a year contracted polio, most of them children, most of them devastated by the debilitating and paralysis symptoms that or causes that come from that disease. It's an incredible devastation, not only to the individual, but to their families and their loved ones and their friends. Rotary decided to do something in the mid-'80s. We rolled up our sleeves, we took out our checkbooks, we made new and effective and efficient ways to administer that vaccine worldwide, to the point now where from 350,000 a year, we're down to under 100 in 2 countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. And I have news of an incredible announcement that's going to be made this week, and I can't tell you what it is, but it's related to Polio Plus and another step in our ultimate victory in eradication of this disease. Now, we can't rest on our laurels, though, because we have to continue the fight to prevent that disease, not only eradicate it, but prevent it from coming back. We have to continue to administer the vaccine in those areas that need it. So don't take your foot off the proverbial foot pedal. Keep raising money, keep keeping people's awareness high. You know that October is Polio Eradication Awareness Month. Make sure you have some event planned that day. Make sure you're figuring out ways to continue to donate money. In our club, we all now have to bring to our meetings our Pringles can that we put our change in. I put $20 a month in, and I'll do that for the entire year to raise $240 for Polio Plus. What an incredible way to do this and to continue to support that. More importantly, whenever you donate $1 to Polio Plus, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation donates $2. So that triples the impact of what you yourself can do. We're going to talk about 3 things today, and I've already been beating on why you should be proud to be a Rotarian and a member of this club and a member of Rotary International. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what my vision is for the year. And also, I'm going to tell you how we're going to let everybody in the district, both Rotarians and non-Rotarians, know about Rotary and the good that it does every day. 115 years ago in 1905, 4 businessmen in Chicago got together for that very first Rotary meeting. And one of those 4 businessmen was Paul Harris, the visionary, who had the idea to form Rotary. He envisioned a place where professionals of diverse backgrounds and could exchange ideas and form meaningful relationships, lifelong relationships, as we do today. And as the years have gone by since that initial meeting, the world's become far more complicated. That initial vision has evolved into tangible humanitarian causes today, including the 7, not just 6 areas of focus. A lot of people didn't know we had a new one added this summer. It's called Supporting the Environment, which just shows you how Rotary evolves with the world to address the challenges that may not have been in place when we first started coming up with areas of focus, but as new ones pop up, we address that. We now have a way to remember and honor the vision of Paul Harris. If you donate up to $1,000 over the course of your Rotary career, you become a Paul Harris Fellow. And this club has many Paul Harris Fellows, many times over. If you donate up to $1,000 a year and promise to do that, then you get inducted into the Paul Harris Society. You're one of 1.2 million Rotarians worldwide who share your core values in over 35,000 clubs. Each of us has many reasons to be proud to be a Rotarian. The power of Rotary is profound, and it manifests itself in so many powerful ways you don't even realize sometimes. I was at a meeting once. I'm an attorney. I go and meet corporations when I have new clients or potential new clients to see if we can provide them legal services. And I was meeting this club in another district, And I went into the conference room, and I'm with a lot of senior executives and vice presidents and others, and we're having a really nice conversation. And I knew one of them, so the ice more or less was broken, but I could sense a tension in the air. Not unusual, because let's think about it. I mean, they needed legal services for some reason, but the real concern was the CEO, because that's the person, the chief executive officer, is going to make a decision whether to accept our firm, myself, to provide their legal support. And sure enough, when the CEO walks into that conference room, you could just feel the tension going up dramatically. And he sits right down next to me, and he starts engaging in idle conversation, and, you know, not sure where this is going to go. And then he stops and he looks at me and he says, "Is that a rotary pin on your lapel?" And I proudly proclaimed, "Yes, indeed, I've been a Rotarian for a number of years. I love it. I'm a current area governor." And then he sits up tall and proudly proclaims, "Well, you know, I'm a Rotarian too. I was president of my club last year." Without missing a beat, I came right back at him. "Well then, where's your pin?" And the other people in the conference room went, "Oh, you know, he's embarrassing our CEO." But the CEO was Rotarian. We have a sense of humor. We understand it. He busted out laughing. He looked at me, he says, "You got me." And then he said, "You'll do." And that was it. That was the end of the interview. He knew that he was with another Rotarian who shared his belief in service above self. And that was the end of the discussion. They're a great client to this day, and he's a great friend, and he still laughs about that. But the Rotary brand is so much stronger than you imagine. It represents, like I said, our core values. It means something in this world. It's a brand, like I mentioned earlier about the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, prominent influencers who give us over $1 billion in our Polio Plus campaign. Yes, it means something, and you have every reason to be proud to be a Rotarian. And like many of you, I discovered Rotary by simply being invited to a meeting. Several other fathers like myself, we had sons that were in Boy Scouts, and they said, "Come to a meeting, just come and meet some folks here and have a free breakfast." And I was totally intrigued by meeting the Rotarians in that club, just like if I had been invited to one of your clubs, to your club, in fact. Like-minded people who believed in service to others over their own needs. And I learned what a very special group Rotarians are. I mean, what other organization has a simple motto, service above self? Those 3 words speak volumes. You don't care about accolades, you care about results. But the thought that always bothers me is that if I had not been invited to Rotary, to that meeting, I don't know that I would have found Rotary. I would have probably spent all my energy in other directions. And I shudder at that thought. I mean, it makes me further think about other people out there that you know, people that you associate with, either professionally or personally, who would love to be Rotarians, but they don't know anything about it, or they haven't been invited, because we certainly don't tell people enough about Rotary and what it means to do good in the world. And that's one of the things I hope we can at least do something about. Because of Rotarians like you, millions of people have cleaner water, better hygiene, sanitation, improved literacy and education. We've created peace centers. We're the only district in the United States with our own peace center in our district. Over there, and it's co-hosted by UNC and Duke, we have a peace center that we support, that we interact with the Peace Fellows, young professionals from around the world who have incredible stories. If you ever have the opportunity to meet one or host one or have them come and be a program at your club. Indeed, you have every reason to be proud to be a Rotarian, especially this club. I mean, you guys set the standards, in my opinion, for how you can continue to engage in service projects, notwithstanding the challenges we have today. You raised a lot of money for Rotary masks, donated that to Overflowing Hands. You continue to move forward and find ways to have service projects and solve these problems, and not sit there and dwell on the fact that we have challenges that prevent us to do what we normally do. Well, we have a new normal. You continue to lead the way in that regard. You've had great fundraisers. I love the wine. I think we might have to to borrow that idea and use it in our own club. Deborah and I have already talked about that. But you're also faced with challenges like all the other clubs. And that's one of those things that we have to figure out. How do we continue to grow our membership? How do we continue to raise money? How do we continue to engage in more service projects? Our Rotary International president, Holger Kanak, extraordinary individual, born and raised in northeastern Germany, not too far from Hamburg. He's an eternal optimist. He and I both share that characteristic, I like to think, but I think it's something we need now. We need to have forward-thinking, positive people. His theme for the year is Rotary Opens Opportunities. You've probably seen the logo for that theme. It's a set of 3 doors, red, gold, and blue, signifying how Rotary creates opportunities for both Rotarians and those we serve around the world. Our vision states that together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe in our communities and ourselves. Now, the president asked that each club hold 1 strategic meeting a year. Figure out where you're going to be with this club in 5 years or 10 years. Remember, you're the trendsetter for a lot of other clubs in this district and in the state of North Carolina. Figure out how you can do bigger, greater things going forward. Have a plan in place. You already have a leadership succession plan. A lot of clubs don't do that. And it's great that you're able to think that far in advance to allow the people that are following in the footsteps of your current leaders have the opportunity to learn from them, to be part of it. I have my own vision that I think complements what President Holger Kanak has for Rotary International. My focus for the district is to encourage more service and philanthropy up front. I know you hear that every year from every district governor. Yeah, I'm saying it again because it merits repeating. Service projects are my most favorite memories as a Rotarian since I joined Rotary. You build bonds by having to do things that caused you to give up some of your time, give up some of your resources, but it's a shared experience that builds those bonds that allows you to have a stronger club. One of the things I'm asking people in service projects this year is consider projects addressing food insecurity as part of our Zone 10 Million Meal Challenge. Our goal should be no hunger in District 7710. Make sure you document these service projects, take pictures, and write up a story and get it into the newsletter. I know you do a great job of posting all your speakers information and video recordings on your website. But make sure you share that good news in the district with the district newsletter at news@rotary7710.org. Other clubs learn from what your successes are. Make sure you also look at the Rotary magazine and go to the My Rotary website and go to the newsletter to get other ideas of things that other clubs are doing both in our district and worldwide. You'd be amazed at what people are come up with innovative ways to continue to fundraise, continue to serve others. And if there aren't enough reasons to be proud to be a Rotarian, I just found another one. Studies show that helping others boosts your serotonin. That's a neurotransmitter that makes you feel satisfied. It also makes us feel calmer. So therefore, serving others is good for your health. Another reason to be proud to be a Rotarian. Make sure you continue to raise money. I mean, Rotary, like every other nonprofit, is challenged on fundraising right now. And that's why it's even more important for us to encourage our fellow Rotarians at least $100 a year to the Rotary Foundation and to Polio Plus. We've got to continue to support what is essentially our lifeblood that allows us to do the things we do, like the 2 projects that your president just identified, that you're going to be able to do because of the money that we donated. 50% of it comes back in 3 years is given back to the district to support our district projects and our global projects. My second focus is membership. You hear this every time a district governor goes through there. I'm not going to go through a laundry list. I'm going to focus on a couple of things that I think are extremely effective in not only bringing in new members, but keeping them in your club, because it's 10 times harder to bring in new ones than it is to keep the ones you have. When you bring Rotarians in your club, teach them how to embrace Rotary. Sometimes it's through education, sometimes it's through serving as an assistant on a committee, sometimes it may only be just engaging in service projects. But once they learn to embrace Rotary and they love what Rotary stands for, and you become proud of being a Rotarian, but more importantly, it makes them want to stay in Rotary and contribute and push the ball down the field to be even more successful. Getting them to go to Rotary Leadership Institute, one of those 3 different classes, is always important to keep new members to stay in the club. We don't have RLI this fall, I know that, but we're going to kick it off again in January. So getting new members in, paying for them to go that first 1 or 2 times, make sure they embrace Rotary and stay in your club. And use a mentor. You have so many mentors in this club. I mean, you could go down the list of people who are in this club, and any one of them would be an excellent mentor. Having a mentor that, I mean, really takes that responsibility seriously and works with that new member until they become a very good Rotary embracing member is important. And the last thing you've got to do for membership is reach out to everybody who's not on this call. Everybody in your club who is not participating in these video calls. You've got to let them know, number 1, that if they're getting the links, number 2, that you miss them and their voice and their presence on these conference calls, and let them know you're thinking about it. They may not come on to the next video call, but at least they'll know you're concerned about them, that you're thinking about them, and you're going to allow them to stay or have reasons to stay in the club. But if you don't reach out to them, you're going to lose. Tied very closely, and for a moment, I'm really going to get serious about this. Tied very closely to membership, and even more important today is my 3rd focus, diversity. We've gone through a lot in our country, in our community. We have a lot to learn. We have a lot to listen to. As I tell every club, if your club does not look like your community, you have a problem. And we all recognize that. I'm telling you something you all know deep in your heart. But I'm not going to stop talking about it this year. I truly believe that the more diverse we are as clubs, much like in society, the stronger and more effective we are. We have to open up Rotary and encourage young people of color to come into Rotary. Find a way to do that. We have to overcome these prejudices and preconceptions by building bonds and being willing to listen and learn. And we're going to provide that opportunity in this district. We are asking all the clubs, I am asking all the clubs to have at least 1 program on diversity. I'm hoping they have more, but I want you to have at least 1 on diversity. We have a robust District Diversity and Inclusion Committee headed up by Mark Vasconcellos of the Wake Forest Club, a dear friend who has been instrumental in helping me in my journey. He and I are working very closely together on several initiatives that my predecessor, Marie Howard, past District Governor Marie Howard, started. And we hope to see these help our district learn and listen and grow and become more diverse in the future. We're going to have a more robust speakers bureau. And if you know people who might make excellent speakers on diversity, racial injustice, racial inequality, or other topics of interest, please have them go to our district website, resources and resources link, and there'll be some information about how to sign up and apply to be a member of the Speakers Bureau, but also how to find speakers that are part of it. We have a new e-club, satellite club, focused on social justice. You can be a member of your club and still participate in some of those club sessions. Very helpful. We have started, and I participated in one of the very first sessions, small group sessions to facilitate safe conversations on race. And I participated for a month. Every week we met for an hour and a half. We had about 10 to 12 people of all diverse backgrounds, and we had great conversations. And now I have 11 new friends that we're going to get together when we can get out of this COVID cave that we're all living in. And the last initiative on diversity is our quarterly webinars. And Mark and his district diversity and inclusion committee, with Mary Moss's help, is going to come up with some great speakers and great events that will invite everybody in the district and other guests to participate in video conferences and hopefully someday in actual presence speaking events and webinars on racial injustice and racial inequality. And last, my final focus on the year, but it's not the end of my speech, so hang in there, is I want to make sure this year that our clubs continue to make it fun for all the members. And we choose to participate in Rotary for lots of reasons, but I assure you that if members are not enjoying the experience, they're going to choose to do something else. My wife accuses me of being a mischievous third grader trapped in the body of a senior citizen. Guilty as charged. That's not going to change. And I hope I can continue to bring that fun factor wherever I go in our district. Help each other find the fun in your meetings. You guys have such a great time. I loved the event you did last week, I think it was Thursday, on the wine and cheese. I'm still drinking that wine. Just make it fun. I know you will, but that's what I'm going to tell everybody. Make it fun. And now comes my favorite part of these club visits. And if you haven't heard about it, get ready. In the military, commanders would go out to people, troops in the field, or go to units and garrison, and would identify people who really led the way, who were well respected for their selfless service to others in the performance of the duties. And they'd give them an award. It called it an impact award. And I thought, what a great thing we can do in Rotary. I'm not going to have you complete some prerequisites before I give you a district governor pin. I want somebody who's living that life, who epitomizes what it means to be a Rotarian. And there are many in your club that fit that description, but I told your president I wanted him to identify just one person in your club who will be the recipient of the Rotary District 7710 Heroes Pin Award today. Now we had this Heroes Pin. And I had it made specially for this district. And I pre-positioned it. Hopefully it's in the position of the right person. And I want to tell you a little bit about what I asked the presidents to think about when they identified that person. That hero is someone who raises their hand when asked to do things, who's always generous with their time and resources and talents when needed, who leads by personal example and encourages others to join in and be part of something bigger than each of us. They're the ones that clubs depend on to make things happen. I call them the unsung heroes and the informal leaders. Many of you probably deserve it today, but today, that person is Valerie Evans. Where is Valerie? Where is Valerie?
I am here. I am here.
All right, Valerie.
Thank
I don't
you.
know if this can, let me finish reading this and then we'll make sure you get this award, okay? Your club president said, Valerie is the chair of our public relations committee, and although she is incredibly busy with her academic work, she prepares an excellent weekly newsletter. She keeps our website and all of our social media current and handles our weekly Zoom calls. She also works to publicize all of our activities through social media and otherwise. She does all this quietly without seeking credit. The perfect recipient of your club hero pin. Now, Eric, I hope you put it somewhere that you can get to it, but if not, we'll make sure that happens in the near future. Do you have something to say, Valerie?
Thank you. I was truly shocked. I can't say enough. I really was not expecting this at all. I'm honored that what I do is appreciated and helpful and useful to the club. And I hope I can live up to the pin that you have awarded me. Thank you.
Well, Valerie, thank you for epitomizing what it means to be a Rotarian in your club. And you're wearing it on behalf of all the other members of your club who definitely fit that description. I would have loved to have been in person to present that to you, but you know, just the fact that you're getting recognized is so important to me and to your other fellow Rotarians in the club. I plan to award a lot more of these pins in the future.
I'm honored to be the first, but I have to say, I have seen how you award pins to Kirk Warner, and I don't think that I want that. You just hand it to me, and that's fine.
Well, it has a magnet, so there's not going to be any skin penetration. With
Cool. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you again. And I'm going to be around all year. I've got more pins, but I want to identify people when they're doing something that merits that attention, because to me, we just don't do enough to honor our Rotarians. And we don't do enough to get the word out about it either. We have a lot of great things to look forward to this year, whether we're still dealing with this pandemic or not. On Saturday, September 26th, we'll host our next district training and foundation seminar. It'll be by Zoom, so it'll be very easy for you to join. And there are always great opportunities, these training sessions, to meet other Rotarians in the district, but also hear about some of the great things that are going in the district and internationally with Rotary. Just go to the district website, go to the calendar, and go to the 26th of September and register. It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll enjoy that you did. And it won't take all morning on Saturday. These things are a lot shorter. The other great district events, the one I am most looking forward to is the one that you all are so intimately involved in leading the way, and that's our Rotary Service Day on April 17th, 2021. What day was that again, David? April 17th, 2021. We are going to make ourselves heard district-wide by all the Rotarians, but also by the people in our district. On that day, every club in the district will be engaged in a Rotary project somewhere. The goal is, and Gina is leading the planning with that committee, is to have one location in Southeast Raleigh, because I want not only that it to be in an underserved part of our city, I want it co-hosted by the Southeast Raleigh Satellite Club, because I want to garner as much attention for that club so that they can increase their membership and be able to show the impact that Rotary has, not only locally, but internationally. And I've already talked with Mia and said, if you're not a Rotary chartered club by April 17th, we're going to do it on that day, because you will have plenty of members. But if they do it ahead of time, even better. And again, I just can't thank enough for all the support you all have been putting on that. And Mark, keep up the great work with them, because they are indeed a very good club. And I look forward to them continuing to lead the way on this Rotary Service Day and co-hosting this event. Now, if clubs are not able to actually attend the event, because we're going to have several projects in different areas of focus at one location, I've asked all the clubs to do something in their area, because that way we can showcase what Rotary does locally and around the world. I will have a full court press with media, social media, what have you, to let everybody know by our actions what Rotary is all about. Because as I said before, we're going to tell them about Rotary and let them know what great things each of you does. Maybe it'll become an annual tradition. I guarantee it's going to happen in April. And then a week later, we're off to our next event, our district conference in Wilmington. Between April 23rd and April 25th, we'll be down adjacent to the water in what's called the Hotel Ballast. It's a totally remodeled, what used to be a Hilton Hotel down there across from the USS North Carolina. Great location, newly remodeled hotel, great venue, a lot of family-friendly things will be occurring there, and it'll be an opportunity for us to celebrate Rotary, celebrate all the things we did during our Rotary Service Day and all during the preceding year. Because we're not going to let challenges that we have today prevent us from having a tremendously successful Rotary year. And now, my commercial moment. I want to thank one of the main sponsors for the upcoming district conference. That's the Smith Anderson Law Firm. My firm, I hit them early, I hit them hard. They've been great sponsors from the beginning. Each year we seek sponsors in the district to support Rotary for the Rotary District Conference. And that's how we defray the, reduce the cost so members can go to Wilmington and participate in the district conference. I'm hoping we can have the conference. And so I'm forward thinking about that and positive thinking. And so if you individually or your club or your company wants to be a sponsor for the district conference, please reach out to Deborah, to your club president, or me. You can also go to the district website under the resources link, and on the next link, news and documents, and you'll see information about how to become a sponsor. Well, you can reach out to us if you don't want to go to that trouble. We need more sponsors. Our last big event of the Rotary year will be our International Convention in Taipei, Taiwan. I hope to see you all there. I hope we actually have it, and I'll be there. And finally, this new Rotary year feels unprecedented and challenging as our country grapples to find solutions. And despite all of this, I have hope. I have hope because of Rotary. Maya Angelou wrote, "You may not remember what I've said. You may not remember what I did, but you will remember how I made you feel." And I hope I made you feel proud to be a Rotarian today. I urge each of you to aspire to serve, commit to lead, and persevere through these challenges. And always, always have fun. God bless each of you. God bless Rotary, and God bless the USA. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Governor Hayden, thank you so much for visiting us today. Those were very inspirational and helpful words. I always enjoy hearing you speak because you provide this nice combination of infectious charisma with practical advice. And we have heard a lot from you today about service, about diversity, about ways to improve our membership, and about lots of exciting things to come. So glad that you had the opportunity to give the Hero Award to Valerie Evans. Valerie, it's very well deserved. We just want you to sometimes, you know, we may not remember to thank you for all the hard work you do, you know, every week to kind of keep the communications going with our club, but it is very much appreciated. And so thank you, Valerie. And before we adjourn, I want to remind the members of the board that we are going to stick around for a few minutes and have a board meeting with the district governor. But for one final time, let's all say thank you to David Hayden for all the support that he is providing and all that the district is doing to help make our work as the club. So thank you very much. All right. So now, with that, we will close our meeting as we always do with the four-way test. So, of the things we think, say, and do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? All right, great meeting. We're adjourned.
R-O-T-A-R-Y. That spells Rotary. Very good.
Yeah, that sounds great. Julia, when you send us this email, will you include?
Classic Charles. There you go.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Governor. All the way, airborne.
Airborne. Pleasure seeing you all today.
This is great. Thank you so much.
All right. All right, we ready for a little more now?
Sure.
Seems like that was a lot.
I really just wanted to give you all the opportunity if you all had any questions about what's going on. We'll have a big announcement on Wednesday late afternoon about, it'll be related to polio. And we're going to do a full court press, getting the word out district-wide and through press releases. Some good news there. I mean, we haven't totally eradicated it, but it's still every good news story about polio. It also draws attention to it and continues people supporting that. But if y'all had any other questions about Southeast Raleigh or the Rotary Service Day or anything in general. I mean, I can't thank you all enough in your club for the leadership you're doing, not only on the Southeast Raleigh Satellite Club, but on the Rotary Service Day as well. Two things that are very meaningful to me personally. Deborah, who's not on here, can tell you that when my club 3 years ago nominated me to be a district governor, you have to get your club to support it and send it. I told them, I'm not doing this unless you join me in supporting the creation of a club in Southeast Raleigh. I've always saw that as the most underserved part of this district, and we never added that club. And I remember going up to Dana Johnson when she was president, planting the seeds and saying, you know, this would be a great idea. Jim Dorsett, I beat his ear up quite a bit too about that. And you guys, you didn't take just a mention of it. And it was I think you all agreed and embraced it and ran with it. And it just, I didn't have to do anything. It's already happened. And Mark's getting them to that final point, and they will be created as are chartered here in the near future. How many members they got now, Mark?
It's about 16.
Okay, we got to get them over 20. Well, we can do this. I know one of my members in the Capital City Club said he was going to transfer his membership over to the Southeast Raleigh because he thought we were a little too boring. He wanted to go to an emotional club, and I said, great, you know, he is the kind of person that will be a great addition to that club. Anyway, so that was I just can't say enough how important that was to me to see that evolve to where it is to this point, and to have them be chartered, if not before then, on April 17th, that would be something to be proud of, something long overdue.
I love that idea. I think that would be great, and it'd be a great way for them to kind of recruit membership, is to have that chartering be a part of the whole celebration that day.
That's why they're co-hosting this service day, although Gina is really doing all the hard work. Gina, I'm sorry, but you got broad shoulders, so you can do this.
They are a great group, David. I think you couldn't have picked a finer group for Southeast Raleigh. And I try to go to their weekly Zoom meetings, and I'm so impressed with their speakers. It's just, they're really embracing Rotary and doing a great job.
Yeah, I was going to say thanks, David, for his support. I know Deborah's not on, but she had a big piece in getting this started, as well as a lot of other folks on this line, including Valerie and Eric and Jim and Linda and Elsa and others. So they feel the effect of that support, and really appreciate it.
Well, it's going to happen. Much like Rotary Service Day, it's going to happen. We're going to keep pushing. I mean, that's just one of many things we need to do, but that's important to me. What questions do you have? I'm sorry, I don't mean to monopolize the conversation. I was trying to open it up for y'all to ask questions, and I'm sitting here talking.
I do have one question. I'm curious as to how many other sort of larger clubs in the district are at least occasionally having in-person meetings.
The only club that tried that was the Cary Club. Cary's over 100 members, and or no, I think they're about 85. And they decide, no, it's over 100 members, 104 in fact, and they had about 50 on a video conference, and they had 12 at the McGregor Club. So, and they had the person who was receiving the Heroes Pin was at the club with the club president, all masked up, but they did award the Heroes Pin there, and which is kind of, I love doing that myself, even without the pin. But but it's just such a important thing, I think, to recognize Rotarians doing, and I hope to give a lot more out to folks in this club. You just never know. That's the only big club. There's a couple of small clubs. Wake Forest is probably 40, and they actually had that many members. I don't see how that was in compliance with the governor's rule. I told them you're supposed to be in compliance with CDC and the governor's restrictions, which restaurants can have up to 50% of their members of their seating can have people up to that number, But if you're having a mass meeting, which a Rotary Club is a mass meeting, let's not split hairs on that one. You're limited to 10 indoors and 25 outside. And so I made sure I was masked up, and I told them to mask up. And but I think people are just pushing the envelope. The further you get outside of Wake County, the more people are willing to do stuff like that. Inside the city, everybody recognizes we're a hot zone, and they've got to be careful. And I'm glad you guys, I wouldn't be in a rush to have an in-person meeting, be it hybrid or whatever. Let's get ahead.
We're not. I was just kind of curious as to what other.
I think that will be a total of 3 or 4 right now. But, you know, if the governor comes back on September the 11th and lifts restrictions to some degree, increases how many people you can have in mass meetings and such like that, you know, people, I've empowered the club presidents to make the call, and my only guidance was being consistent with federal and state and local guidelines. And people, yes, us?
Hi.
Hi, yes.
Nice to see you again.
Always.
Is Charles Edwards still on the call?
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
What do I do now?
Oh, nothing. So
That's a surprise. Okay.
nothing yet.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yes,
So-
ma'am.
Charles and I are going to be on a committee along with some others, trying to get real creative. I think what have we called it? The way forward, the new normal in the new era of whatever. So I think we're going to try to get real creative on a hybrid model. I did a little research and I have some ideas, but I think what I'm concerned about, what I voiced, is a drop in attendance and a drop in our general membership from attending. And I think people are just getting exhausted from the whole thing and need something to look forward to. So when we meet, we'll come up with some recommendations and a plan, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, speaking of that, a number of the people on the call have been asked to nominate somebody for the special committee, and I've got 2.
You and I, kid.
Yeah, well, there's 2 others, so we're up to a whopping 4, but there's a few other chairs who need to send us names, or we're just going to start press ganging, to use a good
You're too busy.
term.
I know your name, Charles. I'm back on the grid now, so I can.
I was giving you leeway.
Wilderness now, yeah.
You've been out of state, but
I also needed leeway. I just needed to get through last week.
yeah. Well, this is a friendly reminder, but otherwise you're going to have to bear with what Elsa and I come up with.
Yeah, then you're
going to be awesome.
Charles, would it be appropriate for me to nominate myself to serve on this committee?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Then I formally do so.
Yeah, okay, good, because you were about to be nominated.
Voluntold? That's all right.
Voluntold.
Yeah.
Have you reached out to Nicolette, Charles? She might be good.
We haven't reached out. I've been very nice. I've only had to write 3 academic papers last week. And so I've been sort of busy, and anyway, yeah, but I was going to use this opportunity to remind people nicely but firmly.
I think Nicolette and Paul Corsa would be good.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry to, that's part of what we're doing, Governor. Here, trying to look into the future, and which is coming quickly.
Let me ask you if there are any last questions. And if there are none, I'll go ahead and drop off. Then you can finish your board meeting, Eric, because you may have things y'all want to talk about without me present for some reason. But I wanted to give you that opportunity. It's an honor to be here with you all today. Harrison, I love the bow tie. I encourage more of that. I do it every Sunday morning. I've been missing it because I haven't been going to church lately. So, but they do that with a rotary tie, by the way. So that's your next Get a rotary bow tie. I'm not kidding you. It's sharp.
You need to get one of those. That's a real good idea.
I've known about bow ties in high school. I might have had a date or two because I did not realize how that's supposed to show. I need every help I can get.
David, I have one more.
Yes, sir.
Governor David, we always get awards for people who never seek acknowledgement for the efforts that they made. I like to be acknowledged, and I've got on a pen. And so, I rock my rotary pen every single Zoom call. And I just wanted to be acknowledged for that since you're throwing out compliments. You know what I'm saying? So
one man marketing and public relations team.
While we're on that,
Dave, I got you on my list there, Richard. I got all sorts of ideas for you. Again, thank you.
If anybody was marking me, there was one short moment during during David's presentation where I turned my screen off for a minute, and when I came back, I had my pen on. So
I tell you, that was a true
reminder.
Story. That is a true story. It just totally broke the ice, took all the air out of his cells. He was ready to just run me up and down, and he went, "Oh, you're a Rotarian."
Well, you might appreciate my former club in Michigan. If you showed up to a meeting without your pin, you got fined $5.
We used to do that here.
We only do it for $1, but we do it. All right, y'all. Have a great meeting. Love seeing you again, and I'll see many of you again. I know we got all sorts of things going on this year. Have a great day, and thanks for doing what you're doing.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good job.
Hey, everybody. I have a call that I have to prep for by 2.
Go ahead.
I got to go. Is there anything else?
I don't have anything else unless somebody else wants to bring anything else up.
Yeah, I've got a student meeting
All
at
right.
2 as well.
Congratulations again.
Val.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, Valerie.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it.
Oh, one quick thing, just curious, Linda, Christy, Valerie, and anyone else, is anybody just happening to be available to attend the social next Monday?
Yes.
I'm going to try to attend.
Yes, I'm going to.
I should be able to.
What do you mean? During the regular board meeting or regular?
During the regular club meeting.
As far as I know.
I'll be here.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I just wanted to be sure that a few people will be here. There's no requirement next week. It's just, but I wanted to make sure it's not going to be just kind of a blank screen with me. So
Christy's going to talk about all of her fly fishing.
good times.
Aren't you, Christy?
That's
There's Tom.
I will at least be on for a little bit, maybe. I do have an exam at 4 p.m. that day, so if I didn't have to attend, that would be great. But I'll try to grab my lunch and at least stop on.
Nobody has to attend. Nobody has to attend. I just wanted to make sure it's just not going to be me.
Right.
I'll try.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye,
Well, take
guys.
care.
All right.
Have a great
Bye,
week.
everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.